Alright, hello everybody. This is going to be the second match of NAMT 2023. We have Matthia versus I Love REQUIS 3, also known as Beta Carotene, I believe. I am Sunapple and I'm going to be joined by Trito here.
Hello. Happy to be here. Excited to kick off another match in the round of 64.
Yep. It's this match has actually been something that I've been looking forward to ever since looking at the quals results, since both of these players are really good at Rice. However, they both struggle quite a bit on LN being, or I think both these players were around the 30th seeds, but they had top 10 seeds on both the Rice maps and stuff, so it's going to be really interesting to see who is able to prevail on that LNs, and I think that's going to be really an important thing in this match.
Yeah, definitely. You say that they're around 30th seeds, so they must have been similar performances wise, so this should be a really tight match, and I would expect a Rice battle, and then it will definitely come down to LNs if all the Rice maps gets picked.
Yeah, and we only have around 5 Rice maps, so there is a chance to just take the sweep on the Rice maps alone. However, I feel like that's most likely not going to happen, since this is a chance for breakpoints in case of any misses.
Yeah, I would imagine both players will just agree to ban. I don't know, it's they would agree, but I think both players will most likely ban LNs because it is their weakest set, and that would be risky rather than trying to ban a Rice map that they think they don't have an edge on.
Yeah, I kind of am thinking that. I think that may be the case. However, I feel like, if I'm gonna be honest, if you have any bit of confidence on any of these LNs, I think you really want to play the LNs for either of these players, because if you think you can win, Matthia got #1 seed on basically all the Rice maps, or the last 2 Rice maps, and I think top 3 on Rice 1 for qualifiers. So that's really scary to face against, especially in this early game Rice stage.
Yeah, and just looking at this warm-up, these two players, they're just duking it out. 99.9 accuracy. This is just a foreshadow of what to come.
Yep, I'm excited to see this. Yeah, this match I feel like is most likely going to be the closest out of all of the round of 64 maps matches, since general round of 64 isn't too close. But I'm excited to hopefully see a tiebreaker, maybe. And if we do see a tiebreaker, I have no clue who would win that actually.
Yeah. I definitely don't, especially since I don't really know these players, and I feel like, based on the info from qualifiers, these two players are just similar. So, yeah, I think it's just gonna be a great match overall, regardless of outcome.
Yep. And the song, truly a song of all time, Some Ice Cream.
Yep.
I'm kind of in the mood for some ice cream after listening to this. I guess you should head over
definitely.
to the local Baskin Robbins. Everyone flavors and gets some. Oh, that ratio is neck and neck. 300 difference.
Yeah, 85 and 88. I wonder whose pick was that. I would probably think it was Matthia, because they doubled S, but who knows?
I think that was I Love REQUIS 3 actually. I feel like this is more of a Matthia warm-up, because Matthia is a FFR player. For players who don't know, and this map very much acts like one. Matthia being, I think, number 3 in the world for FFR or something. Definitely a Rice specialist, and a Rice specialist true and true.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see players from other games come to Osumania tournaments. It's definitely a treat to see because usually not a lot of people really know about them except for like a select few. So it's definitely just a chance to let them show their strengths.
Yeah. And this map is quite a bit more difficult than the maps that we will be seeing in the map pool, so don't worry. Matthia may be struggling quite a bit, it seems, on this, but it's not like it'll actually affect anything in the map pool. Maybe it's like connection with some like jacks, but I think that's quite a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, that could be a factor. But you know, maybe they just. I don't know about you, but personally for me, I usually use my warm-up to like calibrate my setup, so Matthia could be using that same approach as well.
Yep, that definitely could be possible, though. I love REQUIS 3 doing a quite insane score, actually, 99.7 on this map. This was used in SOL 3, I don't remember what stage, I want to say round of 6 or round of 32, which is means that it's hard, because round of 32 for SOL 3 is another beast, I guess. And being able to like 990 this is pretty crazy.
SOL 3 in general is just a really hard tournament. So yeah, definitely take some courage to just duke it out here in a warm-up.
Yep, and actually Matthia is able to get better and better accuracy as we go through. Both have around the same accuracy, just like Matthia missing a bit more.
Yeah. Well, I Love REQUIS is also missing as well, so we're not going to see any FCs on this warm-up. But I Love REQUIS should take this very comfortably, yeah. So it looks like both players will just lose on their own warm-ups, which is kind of interesting in a way because it can kind of be like maybe they pick this warm-up to gauge what like differentiates between the other player, like in terms of like which rice skills would one player prefer over the other.
Yeah, definitely. Though, as I said earlier, this map is definitely quite a bit harder than the map pool, so I don't know whether this means all too much in terms of which maps he should be picking. But now we're actually going to be going into the match. It looks we'll be.
Well, Mint rolls the 100.
Whoa.
Ref diff.
Mint wins the rolls. Woo. She gets to pick or ban first.
Oh, we're gonna see that I Love REQUIS has not played the map pool. Well, that's not a great sign, but it also could be, you know, a good sign at the same time. You don't really get mind block.
That is definitely true. However, I feel like on some of these maps, it's a bit better to have at least some like knowledge on their picks or how they go. I know connections, like especially the ending, the Jax itself can be a bit like unexpected and can throw you off quite a bit. I think as well as Winda, which has quite a bit of weird rhythms, so if you don't know the song off the top of your head, it can definitely screw you up once or twice on the accuracy.
Yeah, in general, it's usually good to have at least like a couple runs. You don't necessarily have to go through the map pool, especially in this case. They probably don't really need to practice Allen as hard if they're already committed to just the only pick rice strategy. But it's still great to just practice to just get the strategies down.
Oh yeah, definitely. But now, as we wait for the rolls, it looks like Matthia rolling a solid 15. So there's quite a high chance that I Love REQUIS 3 wins this. And actually, they don't. They roll a 6.
This is a Mint curse. Mint just rolls a 100 and then everyone else low rolls.
Well, we do see Matthia winning the roll. So, what does this mean? I think they get to choose whether they pick or protect or ban first.
Yeah, I believe so. Okay. They're just gonna go straight for the protect.
Alright, and yeah, Matthia is going to be protecting Hills Have Eyes, I believe. Or wait, Mountain Iris. Oh yeah, Hills Have Eyes. Okay, I see what you did there.
Oh.
Mountain Iris. Alright, so yeah, that's definitely something I was kind of expecting, just because that's quite a bit of an act test. Some, like, Rice 2 and Rice 1 are quite simple, especially for both of these players, I'd say. But I'm really interested in how I Love REQUIS 3 is going to be approaching this match, since there's quite a few ways that you can try to approach this. Maybe if you've been practicing LN over the past few days, you can possibly snag in a few LN or hybrid picks, and yep, we do see a hybrid 2 getting protected, so understandable.
So, yeah, that's interesting, yeah. Because maybe I Love REQUIS does have a good read that he might be the better LN player, who knows, and then can just protect the hybrid. I'm not sure. Feels a bit strange to me, but I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely think protecting a hybrid is quite a bit interesting, since I would think that you'd want to be protecting a Rice or a LN map, since that's kind of a guarantee of that if you feel quite a bit comfortable on the LNs, that you can win that. And then we see Matthia actually banning, or wait, no, I Love REQUIS actually banning Window, so not going for a more technical rhythmy based map.
I think if he didn't practice the map pool, banning the tech would probably make the most sense, because, you know, tech can just trip you up.
Yes, and definitely facing Matthia being quite a tech god coming from FFR, where most of the maps are tech, it is quite a good strategy, I'd say. And now that Matthia has banned LN1, I'd say it was either between LN1 or LN2. Probably just going up for the longer map in Hello Seattle. It is now Matthia's choice to pick. I would assume this is one of the Rice maps, unless he like throws the ball in left field.
Okay, so he's not gonna opt to pick. I was gonna say, does he pick his protect or not? He's gonna opt to just save his protect for now. That's what I usually like to do. Like in a best of 7, you get minimum 2 picks, so you can just pick one map, and then if you're at like a 1 pick left situation, you can just opt for the protect.
Yep, that's definitely a strategy that many people have been using. It's either that or like pick your protect immediately, which both work. It doesn't really matter, if I'm going to be honest, whenever you pick your protect. Everyone has their own preferences. But yeah, now
yeah, it is definitely a preference, so
yep.
Yeah, we're just going to go straight into the first map now.
Yep, this is speed, so gonna be quite faster than some of the other maps. However, I think both these players will have the, I guess, physicality to play these maps quite well. I think in the last match we saw Hellison get like a 997 or something, so it'll be quite interesting to see how well both players are going to be able to play this. And we're already seeing that the scores are basically tied in this easier introduction.
Yeah, and now we're going into the first set of streams. Both players are just holding that 99.9. Matthia with the slight edge with the 99.96.
Yeah, Matthia has been able to hold strong their slight lead ever since the beginning, and we're already a third of the way through. This map is quite short. We have a slight break right here, and we see Matthia being about nearly a 1/10% above.
Yeah, I can see why he chose to pick this. Just feels like he's just is super comfortable on this.
Yep, and especially because, I mean, this can still go either way. 1-200 can definitely cause the lead to switch super, super far just because of how close these players are in accuracy. This lead has shrunk down by quite a bit. Instead of a 10th of percentage, it's only about a 5th. Or, yeah, one, whatever.
Now we go to the last quarter match. And I don't see Matthia like dropping a lot of ratio going in or so. We need to be like a significant act drop, like greats, goods, bads, even miss. A miss will definitely do it, but it looks like both players will just hold on. So Matthia will take the first point with the 997,
Ooh,
64.
that's
like
crazy.
it's almost half the rate, double the ratio.
Yeah, and here, one of what I was thinking was, or especially going into this match, I was assuming that Matthia was going to do really, really well, just because I know that they're quite good on accuracy, but I didn't really expect this kind of performance. Maybe these pools are too easy for some of these players. Especially since I Love REQUIS 3 did still double S, which is also insane. 995 is really, really good on this, but just fighting against 997, I think there are probably only a handful of players in this tournament that are going to be able to actually beat that.
Yeah, it is. 995 is a really good score for the stage, so it is just unlucky that has to face someone who just is able to score higher. I'm just gonna go with the LN.
Yep, we're gonna be going for our custom map, Lost Illusions by Ballistic. Actually, I feel like this map is going to be really deciding how close this match is going to be. If I Love REQUIS 3 is able to actually snag this point, it'll be quite good for them, since they know they have an advantage at least in the LN department, and that is something that you really want to know that you have against Matthia. Start going out now, going into this map. Really, this is going to be the deciding factor. I'd say early enough. It's super early, but this is going to be really what's going to be propelling I Love REQUIS if they are able to win this to a possible tiebreaker. If no breakpoints are given.
Yeah, if I Love REQUIS does win this, then both players will probably just pick their protect. And then, and assuming that both players know what they're doing with their protects and executes well, then we will be seeing a tiebreaker for sure.
Yep, and we definitely see quite a stark difference from the last map where both players
were
playing really well. Whoa! Wait. What happened to...
Wait, what happened?
To Matthia? I think that was in the first 30 seconds.
It's less than a quarter of a map, so we can abort, right?
Yes, I believe so. I also think it was less than 30 seconds, so I think abort should be coming through now.
Yeah.
I believe Matthia may have just accidentally left the lobby. But Matthia actually, I Love REQUIS actually took a miss. It wasn't that bad. I believe they only lost about a 10th or 20th.
A vast
1/10 or 2/10 of a percentage.
A vast pop up.
Cool.
Gotta love those pop ups sometimes.
Truly. Now, going into the map once again. We have a slight sneak peek onto this map. We saw the leads being quite close, however, the accuracies aren't as perfect as the last map.
I'd say I Love REQUIS 3 would love to retry, given that he did drop first and fairly early too, so...
Yes. And they actually have the accuracy advantage
here
by about
yeah, their accuracy is like a lot better, like about 0.2, 0.3, but still misses at around the same spot.
Possible mind block can come in, even though they are sight reading somehow. But actually, Matthia having worse accuracy, there's still a chance for REQUIS to take this.
Well, you spoke too soon because REQUIS took a huge act drop, so Matthia does also have the act lead now. It'll take a couple of misses from Matthia to swing it back.
Yes, and we are only halfway through the map, so there is a chance for quite a few misses from Matthia, especially in the later half. Though REQUIS taking another slider break is not doing good, though it is traded right back by Matthia for the first time, actually.
Yeah, Matthia misses. It's still looking like Matthia is still gonna run away with it, given with almost over half a percentage of accuracy lead, and just slightly behind in combo. And REQUIS misses again, unfortunately. So Matthia with the combo cap is able to just steamroll ahead.
Yeah, Matthia is actually doing quite well on this map for not being too great at LNs. REQUIS is also doing quite well. Just, I feel like compared to their last score, this is quite an interesting development because they both like 995 the Rice map, but not even being able to 99 is quite interesting for these players.
Yeah, it seems like REQUIS 3 knew that Matthia is a good Rice player who most likely, you can just assume safely that Matthia practiced more than REQUIS 3 on the map pool, so going for the risky LN line is a respectable choice, but unfortunately it will not pay off.
Yep, and now we'll be going on to Mathia's pick after our first breakpoint, and if Matthia is able to catch this map, then it will be a match point, and we will be going into Mathia's Protect. Hills have eyes.
Yeah, just wants to finish this with like a 4-0, so what a better way to do that than to pick your own Protect and hope you win the second breakpoint.
Yeah, I'm really interested in this map because I feel like this is slightly easier to act than, or it's more straightforward to act than Rice 1. So REQUIS actually possibly has a chance if they're a bit more comfortable on acting simpler patterns. Here we are starting off, both players 1 milling the first like 50 notes. REQUIS being the first one to budge, getting a 300.
Oh wait, Matthia missed.
Yeah, going into the stream, Matthia actually taking the first break.
That was also, I'm not sure if that was like a huge act drop, given that it's a bit early, but that I saw that it was like 0.5 drop.
I mean,
0.5.
Either way, a miss that early on, especially from how consistent REQUIS was on the first map, it's definitely scary if you are a Matthia fan.
Yeah, because REQUIS can still do really well, and it looks like, and yeah, REQUIS is still sitting on a 99.95.
Yep, and this is super good for REQUIS since they may be able to take another breakpoint as long as they're able to hold strong throughout the rest of the map. This ending does get a bit hard to focus if you struggle, just because the patterns really do repeat over and over again.
Matthia has, however, clawed back their way into a 99.89%, which is really insane given the miss. And I don't know how many other bad judgments.
I think it was just a miss. It looked like a very clean miss at this start. Just maybe misreading a pattern, having one transitions be wrong. But here we're coming up to the end with only 0.02% difference, even with the miss. But I Love REQUIS 3 taking the 997.
Yeah, again, just doubling the ratio, but yeah, that one miss.
That
I wonder
was.
what.
Huh.
I wonder what score that would have been without the miss from Matthia. Would it have been 999 or 998?
I think it would have been close to 999. Maybe. I think Hellison yesterday got like a 22,200, and that was like a 9994 or something. So it could have been definitely quite close to 999.
Yeah, so we're gonna see what I Love REQUIS 3 is gonna pick next. They still have to protect HB Hybrid to be with you. I don't think they're gonna pick a long note map, given that long note 3 did not work out in their end. So they also have. They could also pick the other hybrid, or they could go for one of the remaining 2 rice picks.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking Hybrid 1 isn't too bad of a map, since it is quite easy to get breaks on, especially at the end, though we will be seeing Hybrid 2 the protect, as you were saying earlier. Another decently... I think this pick is quite good, since this is the more LN focused hybrid, and a bit more straightforward, so I Love REQUIS may have a bit of a lead as long as they're able to, like, basically FC. Here we go, into the fourth map, actually. I Love REQUIS trying to tie up the score once again after taking their own breakpoint.
Well, Matthia is just starting with a below 99 and well clawing their way back up. Oh, and now the accuracies are back to even.
Yep, we go into the rice section, and I believe Matthia actually had a slightly worse ratio. And
Matthia does take the first drop.
Yep, and already a fourth of the way through, there's still quite a bit of time for Matthia to take themselves back, but I Love REQUIS actually looking very, very strong on this map with a 99.5. There's a bit more of an LN release section more towards the end of the map, if I remember correctly, so there's still quite a bit of a chance for Matthia to come back on this, since we saw I Love REQUIS 3 taking quite a bit of misses on the release sections of Lost Delusions.
Yeah, but just looking at after that LN section, it looks like I Love REQUIS came out on top with those in that LN stairs section, where Matthia did drop down to 99, but I Love REQUIS drops on the slow / break section. The break sections always trips people up when they're not prepared.
Yep. So this lead is slightly moving in favor of Matthia, though Matthia keeps on getting these bad judgments, and as a result, I Love REQUIS catching up to that 400 combo mark is gonna hold still for quite a bit until another miss happens.
Yeah, but I Love REQUIS is back on that 400 combo mark, and so Matthia unfortunately wasn't able to. Oh, but I Love REQUIS drops again. Matthia drops back.
On this LN release section that I was talking about earlier, both players are actually taking the drop, though I Love REQUIS having the slight advantage. Both players dropping at the same time.
And dropped again. Wow, that was actually very close despite the score gap. That was felt like a lot closer than it actually is.
Yeah, I think if Matthia was able to hold combo even for a few more seconds, they would have actually been able to take the point and take another break point. But instead, I Love REQUIS will be taking their protect, bringing us back to 2-2 best of 3 now.
Yeah, so both players will guarantee one last pick. So both players need to pick wisely, especially with a pool smaller, with maps that they're probably generally not as comfortable as the maps they picked prior. And yeah, and both players did use their protect already. So
yep. And Matthia actually going for Blink. Something I would have preferred Beat Prisoners, since I feel like that's a bit more technical. But this also does work quite a bit. I'm a fan of this song, so I'm happy that it's picked.
Song is really great.
Looks like both players are ready to up immediately. Quite a fast ready from both these players. Just wanting to go straight back into the match. This is definitely a bit more ACK orientated. Quite a bit of jacks from what I remember, as well as like streams in between it. So definitely going to be a test of accuracy for both these players.
Matthia did drop the first 300, but ends up with the better ratio. Probably had a cleaner run on the stair sections.
Actually, I think both of these players are tied in ratio right now. I think Matthia took a few more 300s than REQUIS on that one stream, but it's not like it'll matter too much right now. These two are like linked together.
This is still indeed very close. Both players above 99.95.
REQUIS having the slight disadvantage, I believe, a lower 99.96, though it's probably within tens of 300s right now.
And here we go with the jack part.
Anything can happen. We did see a miss come out from Matthia in Hails Have Eyes on a transition, so that is definitely possible to happen again, though they have the slight lead. And here we see about 200 points, a difference between these two players.
Yeah, this is like super close. I'm like trying to see who's dropping more 300s recently. I see one from REQUIS.
I feel like both of these players are dropping 300s quite evenly. A few more on REQUIS, though it's nothing to like be ashamed of. It's so hard to play these maps and play them as well as both of these players have been playing them.
Yeah. Now we're going to the last 6 of the map. It's like, oh, Matthia is going up to 99.97. So that's where we see like a slight gap in score and accuracy.
Yep, and we're coming to the end. Unless 200s come out from Matthia, I believe that will be their point. Only by about 500 points. 2998s. That's insane.
Yeah, that is crazy of a score from both players.
18,200 or 18,300s difference between both these players. That probably could have gone either way, depending on like what ratio these players, or what is it called? What URs these players are doing. And yeah, I think if REQUIS had a bit of an earlier offset, then they would have been able to take the point. Though they still have an LN map and another hybrid map to pick if they want to go that route.
Yeah, based on what you said earlier, I don't think Beat Prisoner is the pick, because you said that you think Matthia would have been better on Beat Prisoner over Blink. So either Hybrid 1 or LN2 would be the more logical pick here.
Yeah, and now Do you think that I Love REQUIS will want to take the gamble, taking LN1 or LN2, or want to go with what made the win in the Hybrid 1 map?
I'm not entirely sure. I would say Hybrid 1 might be the better pick, although it is still Rice oriented, right? So you're playing into Mathia's strength, but I Love REQUIS also did struggle on LN, so it's definitely a tough call.
Yeah, it's either do you want to go like, I guess release-based, more release-based map in ukulele, which you saw that both of these players were playing quite evenly, and actually we will be seeing ukulele come out.
Yep. So Matthia on match point, and I Love REQUIS must win this before, in order to force tiebreaker. We see the semicolon dash semicolon from Matthia. I don't know what that means. Is this the one map he did not practice?
Could be, though it can also be that both of these players, because this map I feel it's the hardest LN map to pick just because of the coordination that you do need, because there are quite a few jacks in this map, while also holding a bunch of notes down. That can be a struggle for either of these players.
Yeah, Matthia starting off with a sub 99 again, but I think it will come down to miscount.
Yeah, I think we saw this same thing play out in the past in the Hybrid and the other LN map, where Matthia having a slight act deficit at the start of the map. However, just because of I Love REQUIS taking a few misses, they're able to make it back to even.
Oh, I Love REQUIS. Okay, he did drop, but before that, it was a really brutal act drop to the point that Matthia had to leave prior to the drop. And now it's down to 97, while Matthia has hold on to a 99.
Yeah, and here we have a bit of an easier section, though we go right back into these releases, as well as the jacks, and I Love REQUIS actually struggling a bit more on the jacks than Matthia has been. I believe Matthia is still on an FC run, whereas I Love REQUIS taking quite a few more misses. We are halfway through the map, about a percent difference between these two players here.
Yeah, Matthia navigated that jack section pretty well. Just not dropping was just important.
And here, in the most difficult section of the map, I'd say the actual release section, Matthia does take the break, but I Love REQUIS traces it right back.
Yeah, so Matthia does have like a slight combo advantage. Not one that you can really capitalize on, but you take it because they have the considerable lead at this point.
Yep, and only a fourth of the map left. Actually, a bit less than a fourth. Matthia and I Love REQUIS both taking
players
breaks.
dropping. Matthia dropped again. Oh, another drop from I Love REQUIS.
I want to say the lead is going. Actually, no. Now the lead is growing in favor of Matthia, and I think that will.
I think that's the match.
Yeah.
Barring like missing the last like 10-20 notes in a row, which I don't expect to see that happen. Yeah, so Matthia will take this 4-2. I think this match is a lot closer than what a 4-2 match looks like.
Yeah, both players were actually playing quite well, especially on the Rice maps. I feel like either of these players, or I feel like Beta Carotene would actually be able to beat most players on the Rice maps. It's just that they're playing Matthia, who's like just really, really good at Rice accuracy. So it's going to be a struggle to play against. And we'll see that Matthia will be playing actually the winner of NEP and Cow Cow, which will be coming, I believe, soon. I think that's in the next hour. Yep.
Yeah, indeed.
But with that being said, I think that's it. We'll see y'all in about 30 minutes when ERA Basil versus Kevin and Shadow GM and Suwano come through. I'm really excited. I think Shadow GM versus Suwano is gonna get streamed. Though let me check. Actually, it's going to be ERA Basil versus Kevin. So be excited to watch that. And we'll see you all in 20 minutes. Unless, Trito, you have something to say, I think that should be it.
I just want to say thank you for... I want to thank the participants for providing such an amazing match. That's all for me.
Alright. Yep. Thank you once again to everyone. We'll see y'all in about 30 minutes. See ya.